What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another episode of our weekly recaps. In this video today, I'm going to be going over a select few trades. I'm going to be going over 3 trades total. The first trade being on the king of the currencies, GBPUSD, and the second and third trade that we're going over is going to be taking place on SPX 500. Now again, you guys know from now moving on forward, we are going to be covering highlighted trades for the weeks. I'm not going to be going over every single trade the way I used to. And that's simply because I want to make these videos more digestible, and I want them to be more of a highlight reel and, take the time to actually break down the trades that I'm presenting to you guys on a week-to-week basis. So starting off on this trade, GBPUSD, we had a buy limit order that was spiked off of a sniper entry. Sniper entry is just being a wick entry. The market moves down, activates the trade, and then moves back above, and the candle closes outside of the actual entry price. So that's what a sniper entry is, and the reason for this trade actually takes place on the 4-hour chart. We are on a nice uptrend that is taking form here. The uptrend starting from the base of November 2nd at 1 in the morning and moving all the way back up. Now you can see that this is not a very per se accurate trend line. This is not a trend line that is, there's not perfect touches on a consecutive basis for this actual market. But again, this is an uptrend nonetheless. The market does move up in a consistent pattern. The market does not close below the uptrend and actually follows a very vague uptrending price point, if that's what I want to refer to it as. So anyways, if you jump onto the 12-hour, you can see that this trend line has been taking place for quite a while, dating back to March 20th. I do believe that was the start of the COVID-19 outbreak, and that's why the market decided to crash. The US dollar was taking over the GBP pence, hence the market crash. Market did corrected itself quite well over the span of March all the way to around the beginning of September and of August. So again, this is a very, very nice uptrend, a very consistent uptrend. You could even go as far as placing an uptrend from that line, dragging it across, and seeing that the market does follow that on a more consistent basis. However, with that said, the reason I am showing you guys this uptrend is because if we hop back onto the 1 hour, I did buy based off of the uptrend. Now, the reason this is important is simply because you do not want to sell an uptrend and you do not want to buy a downtrend. What does that mean? You don't want to trade against the grain. You always want to go with the grain. You want to go with the market's momentum. In this case, it was an uptrend, hence the reason for my buy. Coming down off of the uptrend, the market does have nice areas of buying. And in this specific scenario, I was looking for a high traffic area of support and resistance. Now, this happened to be inside the 3,200 price point. I placed my buy entry just a little bit above the actual market's price action. I wanted to get in at a very, very reasonable area. I didn't want to give myself too much room to work with to the point where the market would come down and not actually reach our entry price. I wanted to get in at a reasonable price that happened to be inside the market's wicks along the 31.99 zone. So with that said, I placed my entry at 3,200. Market came back, respected the support zone, spiked up. Now, if you guys actually look inside here, my actual entry was just after these next few candles. The market did not spike the entry price for quite a while. You guys can't really see what I'm looking at, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a better look. So market over here did not spike our entry price. Market came back up, made one more move to test the seller's momentum. A lot of people were looking for a sell position coming off of the push. Market came back down, spiked our entry, went into a little bit of a drawdown. Nothing really to worry about, because if I show you my ruler, that was about 10 pips of drawdown, about $100 on a 1.0. So again, market spiked our entry, closed above, had one more test to the lows before the market made its push back above. So again, this was a very, very nice entry. I'm struggling to use this chart right now. This was a very, very, very nice entry off of the market's overall uptrend, as well as the 3,200 price point. Moving forward, the trade did go about 80 pips in profit, did not actually spike our take profit. I want to have this trade spike our take profit 95 pips, which is a very, very reasonable take profit. I don't want to have a unrealistic take profit above the actual highs of the market. So again, that's why I have my take profit placed at 95 pips. I'm going to hold this trade going into next week, expecting the market to hit my take profit before the trade reverses back down. And I'm going to be looking for another GU entry next week. So again, lastly, we are holding this trade over the weekend, expecting the trade to hit take profit come Sunday market open. So moving on, we're going to jump right into SPX 500, and I'm going to cover 2 trades that we took this week. Both of them ran over 300 pips. One of them is currently active, about 300 pips running profit. and we're going to get into that right about now. Getting into SPX 500, I had two sell positions on this market, which is very, very bold because I am selling against the US dollar. Now, with that said, the reason for these trades was the current active downtrend that we had formed on the 1 and 4 hour charts. Jumping on the 4 hour chart, you can see that the market did peak back on November 9th at around 5 a.m. at the price of 36.74. Ever since then, we have not seen the market hit such a high price. And if we go into the 12 hour, you can see that that's the highest price point the market has been in quite a while. So knowing this, I know that the market's going to look for some sell-off pressure. The market's going to look to correct itself and get back below the 3,500 range. The 3,500 range is a very, very comfortable spot for the SPX 500 CFDs. And so with that knowledge, the market's going to obviously move back down coming off of the 36.74 price peak. So again, market comes into a downtrending zone, starts to respect this area of resistance that I noticed dating back to November 9th. And with that said, I placed my entry price at about 36.25. I wanted to get it just a little bit below the trend. I didn't want to play too high simply because I was not expecting the market to push the 36.30 price point anytime soon. So again, entry price was placed at 36.25. The market did actually spike my entry on my MetaTrader 4 off of the CMC markets. So with that spread, that's why my entry was actually spiked. But on the TradingView platform on Forex.com, the market didn't activate just yet. So the market did come back above after respecting a temporary area of support. Market pushed our entry price, went to a little bit of a drawdown, very, very little drawdown before completely crashing and smashing our take profits. Now, this first sell limit did about 570 pips, and that was a huge payout. I wasn't expecting the market to push back down that easily. I did expect the market to play around the 3,600 range for a little bit before the market actually chose to come back below. But nonetheless, the trade did crash completely, crashing our take profit in just a few hours. So very nice payout. And that push did actually put us below our second entry price, which happened to be a nice area of former support, new resistance. Coming into the second sell limit, I did have a beautiful area of entry. I did expect the market to break a little bit below, but it did stay in a little bit of a consolidation range after our entry. So market spiked our entry, which I did place just a little bit above the resistance zone. I expected the market to spike our entry price and then crash back below, but that wasn't the case. The market pushed right above, right into a huge drawdown. Now this drawdown was about 111 pips. Our stop loss was at 130 pips, so there wasn't too much room to breathe after the market moved that high. But we did have an immediate reversal off of the peak from our previous price. Now this previous price was at 3586.4 on the market's price point. The reverse back down did push us back to our entry price, and the market consolidated for quite a bit. Now this was about 6 hours of consolidation before the market ultimately picked up enough seller momentum to push the market back below the support and now new resistance zone. Now we are currently holding this trade, and we are sitting just under an area of support. So with this knowledge, I'm going to continue to hold this trade going over the weekend, which I am currently doing. And I want to see the market close below our new resistance zone, have a nice little retest before pushing for our take profit. Now our take profit sitting at 460 pips at about 35.29 on the market's price point. I do expect this take profit to be slapped about Monday afternoon, Monday evening, because I don't think the market's going to immediately have a push back down upon market open. I'm expecting the market to gap a little bit below before closing back above. So the market's expected, in my opinion, to open a little bit below. Market's going to have to correct itself, fill the gap before pushing back below after. So again, I'm thinking Monday afternoon, Monday evening is when this trade is going to take profit. But we're going to see what happens upon market open. So with that said, this is going to wrap up this week's video. Again, I'm going to be highlighting certain trades going forward. I'm going to be highlighting trades that not only you guys request, but I think that you guys need a little bit more of a in-depth knowledge on my behalf for my trading strategy on. So again, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I do hope you guys are continuously working to make your trading strategy better. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Carlos. But with that said, again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care, and I'll see you guys at Sunday Market Open.